Channel, another episode of Fiancé and Finances. So my name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist. I own 52 units of real estate, and this is,
Christine, I'm Steven's fiance, and we own a house together.
and she's also a pharmacist. So today I want to talk about how I grew exponentially after starting to date Christine, right? And kind of sharing this from like a guy's perspective. So to be honest, when you're a guy, when you're a single guy, so much of your time, so much of your energy is allocated towards chasing girls.
No, I
It's
get it. It's like a cat and mouse game, right?
yeah,
You're like waiting for the other person to respond. You don't know whether they're going to say yes to a day or not, or maybe you said the wrong
you
thing.
know, it's like you're over analyzing every single thing, right? So like at the time I was dating, I think dating apps was, becoming more popular at the time. And like because of that, I felt like girls had guys and girls had so many options, right? You literally just go on your app, you could be sitting on the toilet or sitting on a sofa, like swiping, right? Like that's unfortunately the culture. And then at this point for guys, like it's just a numbers game, right? You just like message people. They may or may not respond. You may say the right thing. It may lead to like a date in person. And then after the date, you're like analyzing everything. Is it going to lead to a second date? Is this like the one? Is this going to be my girlfriend?
Wow, is that what guys think about? That's like a lot of things to think about.
Yeah, like so it just consumes everything, and you're just like talking to your guy friends about like, oh, I went and dated this girl, and this happened. I said this, and this how she responded. You're just like analyzing every single thing like step by step. So it literally takes up like so much of your mental time and your mental capacity. And like I said, it's a cat and mouse game. Like you think something can go great, and all of a sudden the girl ghosts you after like like three dates,
The
right?
worst part is you don't know why, and you're
Yeah,
stuck there
and
thinking about it
in
too.
your mind you're like, oh, like guys, we're dumb and stupid, but like it's just like, oh, I thought it went well, right? Like, but in the girl's mind, maybe something was off. Maybe she wasn't communicating something. Maybe they're dating multiple people. Maybe one went serious, right? Like you don't know. There's so many like factors out of your control that you can never guess. But you're going down this like rabbit hole of like infinite possibilities. And at least for me, that just took up so much of my mental bandwidth
Mhm.
in the dating life. So that's kind of from the guy's perspective, right? And obviously, it gets kind of pricey. Going on dates, and then guys are paying for the first date typically. If you want to show your worth, I guess. But it just like was crazy. So like the moment I dated you, like it just felt like we're official boyfriend girlfriend. It just took off a huge mental load off of me, and I would say I feel like you were playing cat and mouse with me too, right? Because I was talking to you, but more as like a
Like
friend, right? I
friends.
was friend zoned with Christine because I was so far away.
We talked about, we were just talking for about 2 years before I actually started dating. Steven was in the Bay Area, I was in SoCal, and we didn't want to do long distance. So we were just kind of waiting for Steven to move down here so that we could maybe explore possibility of dating.
Yeah, so I took a huge leap of faith, right? That's the inner romantic in me.
Oh,
Is I moved basically 400 miles to Southern California to have a chance of dating Christine, and it was for me. I would regret not trying. Was kind of my mindset. It was like worst case, I try, it doesn't work out. At least I tried and get to experience a different area. And worst case, if it failed, I could always move back home, right, to the Bay Area. But I ended up working out. Obviously, got a girlfriend out of it and got a fiance out of it. So it worked out for me, for us. Um, but yeah, the moment, like I said, I dated you, just like my focus flipped 180, like completely. Like I was like, oh, all I didn't realize how much time, how much energy, how much mental space was just going around chasing girls. So the moment that unleashed and was released, I was like, oh, like what's next? And I was like buying real estate and like learning about investing a little more casually, but well, I guess me casual is like I own three properties, right? Like I just basically had a house that I bought, a house hack, right? I bought my first house, second house, and then when I moved here shortly, I bought a third house. And I remember I would bring Christine with
oh
me
yes.
to
I
to
would get so mad like, just going to open houses.
yeah. She was
I
like
did not want that.
so angry, like under her one day off to spend time with me. She was like going to like an open house.
That's the last thing I wanted to do.
Yeah, so it was funny doing that, but like it still wasn't as serious with me, right? But the flip changed when I not only was relieved of my mental strain of dating life because I was more stabilized, but now I got laid off, right? So now I didn't have my work to distract me either. So all my energy just poured into like real estate and then like poured into like self improvement. So, and that's when I exponentially grew like huge, right? Like in 3 years, I bought like 80 units of real estate, and basically now, present day, I hit financial freedom essentially for both of us. To be honest, like
Mhm.
we both don't have to work if we want to, just have to sell some real estate. And a lot of that was fueled thanks to kind of what Christine, just having the stability of Christine and like what she's done for me, and like the mindset that she kind of gave me along that journey.
One thing that I think really helped was just like having a stable like foundation. We didn't really have a lot of fights, especially the first fight that we had was like 1 year in. So in the first year was just like very like peaceful, and it's even just like focused on real estate. And then even right now, I help like him with like when he if he's working or busy with long days at work, I would just help prepare his meals, and just having like all the meals taken care of, that really helps to think about, oh, this is what I need to do for my business, for my real estate, or for my job, instead of thinking about what to eat, what to prepare, or if I need to go out and buy anything or meal prep. So I think just having that like that basic necessity taken care of, that really helps to focus on what's really important. For example, Stephen wanting to build upon his real estate, or doing a really good job at his career as well.
Yeah, and like you said, when you're trying to scale a business as well as real estate, you have decision fatigue. Like I'm making decisions every single day, right? Between my day job, I'm a pharmacy manager, director, managing people, making decisions. And then after hours or even in hours of job, I'm making decisions about, oh, how do I want to renovate properties? Which property do I buy? Which contractor do I want to use? Do I want this flooring, this? So I'm just constantly making so many decisions that I have decision fatigue, that when it comes to stuff like, oh, what do you want to eat? You know, the greatest question of all time, right? For every relationship and couple,
It's a hard question.
it's a hard question, right? What do you want to do? And what do you want to eat? And what do you want to watch, right? But she was able to remove one decision for me, and just like she would decide what for me to eat. And like literally, well, I'm not very picky either. So I'll literally just eat whatever, as long as I have food and as long as I can focus on my business. Like I was like happy.
Yeah. So I think that this kind of dynamic really works for us, and it just helps us to kind of just like focus on whatever we want to focus on.
Yeah, because initially when I first started dating Christine, I wanted her to like be as ambitious as me. Like to be honest,
But
like
I feel like opposites really attract, and
yeah,
that if we were both ambitious, it wouldn't work out.
yeah. If we were both ambitious, like imagine if I bought like 80 units in 8 months, and then Christine bought like another apartment complex, we'd be like so stressed.
We'll probably never see each other.
We'd
We
never
would
see each
clash
other,
in every
clash.
single like morals that we have. But because of this, because I like stability, Steve is a little bit more ambitious. Sometimes I'm kind of tugging him along and be like, "Oh, this is not the way to go. You need to have more stability. You need to balance everything out." And then Steve is very willing to listen to me. So I think we're able to create a great dynamic.
Yeah, like I am coachable, right? I learn from my mistakes, you know, whether it's in business or like in life, personal life, right? If I make a mistake. So it's just really like constant improvement in every aspect, right? Not just like, you know, financial, obviously, our job, personally, health, all that stuff. So I think that's what really helped our relationship. And like you said, like I'm fortunate to like, even though she wasn't maybe directly supporting like my real estate, you know, obviously she learned a lot. Christine knows a lot about real estate just by being around me and like
Yeah,
being exposed to like what I deal with on a day-to-day basis,
definitely.
to the point where even present day, she's like, "Oh, Steven, like you're overpaying on your insurance. Like, why don't you like get other quotes, or like why not save like $20,000 and get quotes?" Like she's like pushing me now, like because I'm just so tired and fatigued, and
And also because
yeah,
I'm not like in the day to day,
yeah,
I can kind of think outside of the box and then be like, oh, why are you paying so much for insurance? Why are you doing this? Like maybe you should think about other companies to look into. Because although I don't have the exact knowledge, I can give him other ideas.
yeah. That's what kind of led me down to like, oh, I can potentially save between my two apartments like $30,000 in like insurance, and then you know obviously give her a cut of that savings
Thank you. Thank you.
to do whatever. But yeah, just like, having that fresh set of eyes who's not as emotionally involved into it, it's like helpful. And then she's kind of been that soundboard for me over time, right? It didn't happen like overnight. This happened over the course of our 4-year relationship, and just her seeing it. So now she has like more exposure, like she's more experienced, right? Like she helped renovate her parents' house, right? And because she saw me renovate like multiple apartments and that process through it. So, she grew as well. So that's why the saying is true: behind every great man's a greater woman.
Oh,
And it's definitely
thank
true,
you.
like with Christine, right? So, for me, it was very pivotal to my growth. As at the same time I started dating Christine, that's when I grew exponentially, built up my net worth, got a lot of real estate, and then now she's with me in the stabilizing process. Like, what are our next moves that we want to do next, right? So now, before I was kind of buying real estate to appease me, right? But now it's different. Now I have to discuss it with Christine because now it affects her too, right? I didn't realize how me buying real estate would affect her, to be honest, like initially in the relationship. But now I see how it does. So now I try to incorporate her into like any decisions that we make, financially, with real estate, or just like, yeah, all that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how we can grow together with real estate and our next moves together.
Yeah. So hopefully you found value from our video. Just wanted to share how I improved significantly after dating Christine, or getting my significant other stabilized. Hopefully you found value from that. Let us know if you have any questions. We love to answer your questions, as well as if you're interested in joining the mentorship program and you want some guidance to buy multifamily, check out the link down below. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.
See you next time.